How's it going, guys? Dylan from Luxury Lives On, and I hope everyone's doing well today. Today I'm finally going to give all of you a tour of our garage, and I'm going to be using this Tupperware of keys to do it. So, starting with the BMW M4. Obviously my brother's new car, which I spoke to you guys about. And it's also kind of awkwardly parked, isn't it? That's what happens when you have absolutely no room in your garage and you're car obsessed. But let's walk around it. He got it in Alpine white with all these black accents that I really love. He has the satin black wheels. He's going to make these grills black too, of course. These in carbon fiber. Speaking of carbon fiber, that's something that's really cool about his car. Obviously, on most M cars you get a carbon fiber roof, but he really wants to go overboard with it and add a lot of carbon fiber accents, which I can get to on the interior very soon. But it's a very mean looking car. And when I first honestly looked at the BMW M4, I thought it was just going to be, you know, a faster 4 Series. But what this car really is it's a totally different car. It's very aggressive, very pure, and very harshly set up actually. And you can tell that with the shifting and the suspension, which you can all of course adjust right over here. That's the other thing about this car, adjustability. It gets a little bit complicated, but I think adjustability can be really fun with these cars because it has so many different personalities. But as I said, carbon fiber is everywhere. Over here, here, and just all around the car. I also love all the details like this M script and this M inspired stitching. Well, what better car to move on to next than yet another white BMW? This one is, of course, our spaceship, our i8. We ordered this with the Pure Impulse package, which is kind of a cheeky name for saying we got you and you paid a lot of money for your i8 because you got blue seatbelts. But it was kind of worth it because you got a lot of cool options like these wheels and a lot of the blue accents. But of course, the main thing that you're interested in with this i8 is the party piece. The doors. Ta-da! Those are fun until you're sitting in the car on a daily basis and trying to not look like a total idiot getting in and out. But now that we're in the interior, let me kind of go over this with you. We have a little bit different options in this car than the M4. Of course, you don't have the same adjustability here. You have the Eco mode, the Comfort mode, and the Sport mode if you move this to the left. But it's very much like your 3 Series, you know, it's a very simple format. And it's a very simple interior. It's very minimalistic and eco looking, which I kind of like. It kind of suits the overall design of the car. This car is kind of crazy though, because there's another button in here where you can press here, and actually the car goes into full electric mode. Now, allow me to take you back in time to my favorite era, the 80s. which is probably more popular for cocaine and spoilers, as you can see where I'm storing these keys. But they also had some pretty awesome cars. One being the 944. Obviously not as loved as most Porsches, speaking the 911 of course, but this is a special car. Went over it in another video, but I'll go over it briefly. This is the Silver Rose Turbo S. They made 1,000 Turbo S's and 381 Silver Roses. What's a Silver Rose, you may ask? Well, it's pink. That's what a Silver Rose is. You get this outrageous interior, and in some lighting, you get a pink tint to the paint. In addition, you get these wheels, and the Porsche Turbo S got a lot of race parts from the Turbo Cup car that it was celebrating or derived from when it was made. But it's such a cool design. It has such crazy technology in it. I mean, the sunroof goes up and down. It has electric mirrors, electric windows. The AC works in it because it's a Porsche and it's German and never going to break, obviously. But more importantly, too, it has pop-up headlights, which are so fun to always use. But it's, you know, it's a simple car as well. Everything's a switch, nothing digital, no GPS, nothing like that. And of course it's a manual, which I love. So that's a quick look at the 1980s. This is a very simple car, but it's old. This, however, is a simple car and it's new. No, I don't think I'm James Bond, but I do love my Aston Martin. I'll tell you why. Just look at it. It's absolutely gorgeous. But other than that, I think it's really one of the last true cars. It's obviously a bit older now, and it's a very analog car still. It's got hydraulic steering, an extremely hard clutch to deal with, and it can be quite jumpy in the corners. But it's so much fun. You never forget you're driving this car. If you're in the i8, you can actually get kind of jaded and used to it. It's almost so easy to drive. This car, you never really forget about it. And that's what I like about it. It's fun, it's tiring, and you never forget it. But let's go into the interior. So I got this car in the classic, almost James Bond color, this graphite color. I just thought it didn't hide the lines, but it also wasn't too showy at the same time. The interior moves on to the same trend. Just a simple black interior, but all these beautiful design elements like this tachometer in the middle, this tread plate on the side. Everything is so nice and neat, but also absolutely every single square inch of this car seems to be wrapped in leather. Everyone needs at least one convertible, especially when you're living somewhere like California. The weather here is so awesome, and it's a shame not to experience it. It's really cool too, when you do want to have the top on, especially in this car, it's a red top. That's something I really like about the spec in our Bentley GTC. You have a red roof, a classic fabric red roof, and almost too much red interior. It's so cool, and it stands out so much, especially because, you know, if you're in LA or whatever it is, let's be honest, everyone has a Bentley. So you might as well have a unique spec, which is why I really like the spec of this car. But something you wouldn't really realize, and something I didn't really realize, is Bentleys are fast. This car can do pretty much 200 miles an hour. It's got four-wheel drive. It's got a W12 6-liter engine, and it actually sounds pretty decent. These cars are beasts. This Bentley is so much fun to drive. It's just obviously a giant car. In fact, this car weighs more than our Phantom. So I don't know if you guys have noticed so far, but a lot of these cars are technically two-seaters, right? That's where this one comes in. This is technically our family sedan. I know, poor us, right? We have a Rolls-Royce Phantom here behind us, 20 feet long, 6,000 pounds, and it's run by a 6.75 liter V12 engine, which is naturally aspirated. But in addition to that, this is actually a rather special car. It's a purple color, which is specific to this centenary edition, which is basically celebrating 100 years of Rolls-Royce. And what they did for it, besides this color, is they have some red accents, like these red pinstripes and these red badges, which actually harken back to the original Rolls-Royces that bared red badges. Basically, a long time ago, these old people complained that their red badges were kind of crude, so that's why Rolls-Royces have black badges. But moving on. This is the interior, and that's obviously where the special action takes place in this car. It's just beautiful. I mean, you have so much wood and so much leather, and obviously some poor sheep or some sort of furry animal had to give their lives for these, but you know, everything is excess with these cars. And God forbid, right, they have an umbrella for if it rains, and this actually has a Teflon coating and is a filter inside here for the water to drip out if you put it away wet. I know, God forbid. In addition to that, I'm trying to not crush myself, but there is a button back here that closes the door, so you don't have to reach for it. Poor, poor Rolls-Royce owners, right? But that is the collection. I hope you guys enjoyed my walk around. I didn't want to drill you guys with tons of information on these cars. Obviously, I have separate reviews on all of these, but they're all so different. For our family, we're very lucky to have these cars, and we know that. And we fill these cars in different boxes. We use them all the time. As I said, if we're going to dinner in that car, if we want to go to the beach, we don't care about the sand. We're going to drive that Bentley. If we're going to LA, of course, the i8. The Porsche just for some weekend fun, and the Aston if I want to get a pounding. But my brother's M4 as well, we're going to borrow a lot more as well for some other videos. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Peace.